Now at 10, authorities in Missouri identified the suspect in a 30-year-old rape cold case. Plus, the state of Missouri receives $95 million in funding for small businesses. We're going to look at the local impact. And McDonald County squares off against Nevada in the softball district championship.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Fort Scott, Kansas man is charged in a 30-year-old rape case in southwest Missouri. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Police say on August 15, 1992, 2 women traveled from Texas to vacation at Henning State Park near Branson. While walking the trails, they came across a man who then assaulted them. One of the women escaped and got help. Police searched the area but were unable to find a suspect until now. Thanks to recent forensic science technology, authorities have identified 61-year-old Tony Wagner of Fort Scott, Kansas as the suspect. Wagner has been arrested and is charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, kidnapping, and forcible rape. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma have busted a large illegal marijuana growing operation. Now, yesterday, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office helped the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics raid the operation in rural Fairland. Authorities say they found more than 3,000 live plants, nearly 800 plants hanging to dry, and about 17,600 pounds of processed marijuana at the site. Some of it was then burned by authorities. Some was put in dump trucks and hauled off. Police arrested 6 people and charged them with unlawful cultivation of marijuana, trafficking in marijuana, and possession of firearms and commission of a felony. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Thursday, but a pretty windy one. We had winds gusting 30 to about 35 miles per hour at times. High temp 72, started at 45, so right at our norms for this time of the year. Clear skies right now, so it looks pretty good. Temperatures are dropping back. Not much is going on here across the Central Plains. 48 in Nevada. We're at 53 in Monette. Bonita is sitting at about 50 degrees. We have 46 in Parsons, so we are cooling down, and at least the winds have died down from what we had earlier today, but these are going to pick back up again for us tomorrow, so red flag warnings in effect again. 46 in the morning, 69 by noon, 78, so we heat up tomorrow. High temperature right around 79 degrees. Of course, we're going to look into the weekend and possibly our first frost freeze coming up here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for the area. It did so for today. A red flag warning means very low humidity. Stronger winds are expected to combine to produce an increased risk of fire danger. The local fire chief urges the entire area to be cautious.
Smoking discarded cigarettes out the window of a moving vehicle, or even discarded it near your front porch into the grass could start a grass fire pretty quickly. And then burning trash in barrels, burning brush piles, burning leaf piles, anything like that could come out of control due to the elevated winds.
The fire chief says people should be quick to call the fire department when there is any sign of a fire. The state of Missouri is going to receive federal funding for early stage small businesses. KOAM's Jalen Banks tells us how that'll impact southwest Missouri.
The state of Missouri will be receiving $95 million from the federal government due to the State Small Business Credit Initiative. The funding will go towards small businesses in their early stages.
People that I know and businesses and ideas from people that I know that they are looking for funds and capital to be able to sort of jumpstart their idea, which is huge. Entrepreneurs are the backbone and the heart of our sort of business ecosystem, as we call it.
Businesses in the past would have to find funding from loans, investors, even their own money. One business owner shares the importance of the opportunity.
I think it's very helpful to kind of break down some of those barriers to entry, because once you're established, it's relatively easier to grow, but just going from zero to something is the hardest step, rather than something to grow it to a bigger size. So I would say it's pretty essential.
The funds will not only help startup businesses, but business incubators as well.
Is a great fit for our entrepreneurial ecosystem and helping small businesses and startups get up and running. The resources that we have in place now makes it an environment better than it's been in years or decades for somebody with an idea or if they would just want to start a business.
Hertz says you should not let anything keep you from pursuing a business idea.
Many times they can become polarized with fear and think, wow, that's too big to take on, or they think the expenses are going to be too big. Let's sit down and talk about your dream and find out about what resources are available before you give up on that dream first.
In Southwest Missouri, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
The Missouri Technology Corporation will manage the funds. Pitt State students are now going to be able to learn in a quieter environment. The university today held this ribbon cutting for a new solar panel canopy. Panels will be used to power hand tools used by outdoor classes at the College of Technology. Officials say before, those tools were powered with a noisy generator, which made it hard for students to hear the teacher, and now that won't be an issue.
It'll be used by our students in our electrical program, which is our 2-year electrical technician program, and by our electronics engineering program, and then also our School of Construction. So our students will be able to understand the solar processes and be able to incorporate that into our curriculum and our labs.
The school received the solar panels through a partnership with Evergy. Wasn't the only thing happening at Pitt State today. CAPERD hosted its Future Professionals Conference at the Student Rec Center. CAPERD stands for Kansas Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. It was a chance for students studying any kind of physical education to try some hands-on activities and learn new skills.
With the pandemic, a lot of conferences and things were not held, and so now we're trying to get back in the swing of things, and they wanted to do just a one-shot, have a convention just for college students only.
More than 100 students were there from universities all across the state of Kansas. Coming up, what we learned from the government's latest inflation report, plus a new report shows an uptick in the use of telemedicine services.
Hi, I'm Scott.
A jury in Florida reaches a decision in the death penalty trial of the Parkland shooter. The panel is recommending the gunman not be executed for the 2018 high school massacre that killed 17 people. Instead, they want Nicholas Cruz to spend life in prison for the murders at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day 2018. The jury's decision needed to be unanimous in order to recommend the death penalty. Price hikes slowed slightly in August, but the new report shows inflation is accelerating again. Reporter Michael George has details.
Gas prices dropped during the summer, but recently started climbing again. According to AAA, the national average is up about 20 cents a gallon in the past month.
It's ridiculous.
Wish they weren't so high, but it's what we have to deal with.
And Americans are also dealing with higher costs just about everywhere else.
Everything's more expensive.
A new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics finds overall prices jumped 8.2% in September compared to a year earlier. Inside the numbers, prices at the grocery store increased 13%. Eggs are up more than 30%. Coffee is nearly 16% higher. Home costs are also rising. Electricity is up more than 15%. Natural gas to heat the home has increased 33%. The new report will likely bring new action from the Federal Reserve next month. The Fed has been raising interest rates in an attempt to bring down inflation, but the strategy is having little impact.
The Fed is absolutely on course for another rate increase, the 6th of the year.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the board will likely increase rates 0.75 percentage point, the same action they took in September.
In the minutes from the Fed's September meeting, they articulated something very clearly. They said they are much more concerned about doing too little on interest rates and inflation rather than too much.
If the Fed stays aggressive, it could put a key interest rate at a 14-year high by the end of the year. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
One bright spot in the report, the price of televisions is down almost 18% compared to a year ago, and the price of smartphones dropped 21%. The CDC published data today showing upwards of a third of adults in the U.S. used telemedicine last year. Women were significantly more likely than men to use telemedicine Use also increased with age. Seniors 65 and older were the most likely to say they used telemedicine in the past 12 months. A little bit later, a look at the efforts to restore a historic fire truck in time for the Maple Leaf Parade.
Plus, our temperature is warming up the next couple days, but changes by next week. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice day today. It's a little bit on the windy side, of course, but temperatures were great, right around 71, 72 degrees during the afternoon. And we have clear skies now. It's kind of chilly out there. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca. And it looks like those temperatures are going to continue to cool down as we go through the next few hours. All right, new drought tracker is out. Now, the past couple days, we did get a little bit of light rain. It just didn't do much to this. We're at the top of the scale, exceptional drought. Southeast Kansas, Oklahoma, into southwestern Missouri. Then in the red is an extreme drought. So the entire viewing area, except Berry County, is at least an extreme drought. And we just don't have much way in the way of rainfall in the forecast. Now, once we get closer to Halloween, that's when that pattern will start to shift. And that's when we'll start to get better rain chances. All right, look at our highs. Most of us 70 to about 75 degrees. Of course, we've dropped off over the past several hours. We have Pineville at 55. We have Stockton at 48. We have Afton at 51. Look at Pittsburgh sitting at 48 degrees. It's 47 in Chanute. So it's kind of chilly. We're going to drop back low to mid 40s as we go through the overnight hours. At least the winds have calmed down, but these are going to pick back up once again for us tomorrow. Let's go outside. 50. Humidity at 50%. Temperatures keep dropping back. We have clear skies. Not a whole bunch is going on here across the Central Plains. We have this big storm system spinning across the Great Lakes. So this keeps pulling in cooler Canadian air, and this feature is part of the pattern that we are going to be in for the next 11 months. And this is not good signs for the winter because it's going to pull in a lot of Arctic air. It also kind of blocks up the flow. So we don't have any storm systems out to the west, and we need some rain. We just don't have much in the forecast. Let's go through time as we go into tomorrow morning. Low to mid 40s, so a chilly start. Sunshine through the morning hours, near 70 by noon. Most of us are going to get up upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Now look at the clouds increase tomorrow evening. Here comes the next little cold front, slides in. So we are going to have some clouds tomorrow evening. We may get a random sprinkle or even a quick little shower as this little front drops through. We go to northerly winds by Saturday morning, but still temperatures great Saturday afternoon, highs into the upper 70s. Saturday night, some thunderstorms could clip our southern counties, but most of us are going to end up staying dry. All right, tomorrow 46 to start, 79 by 5, high temp of 79 degrees. Also red flag warnings in effect once again tomorrow afternoon. Humidity is low. We're in a drought. Winds gusting 25, 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. For state Friday night football, we are going to have some clouds. Great football weather, though. Temperature 67 at kickoff, 59 by the fourth quarter. So an alert day tomorrow due to the red flag warning, 79, 78 Saturday. I know you see rain on the forecast for the weekend. This is our far southern counties. But once we start to cool down early next week, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, we're looking at a pretty good frost, possibly our first freeze. Average first frost is October 21st, which is not far away. So we're moving into that time of the year.
Yeah, pretty much on schedule if it does come. Thanks, Jack. A vintage Carthage fire truck now has a new owner and could make an appearance at the Maple Leaf Festival Parade this weekend. The 1939 City Service Ladder truck was the first new truck Carthage ever bought. The new owner, Steve Burnett, has been working on the truck for almost 2 months now, the restoration. Back in the day, the truck could do 4 things at once. When it got to a fire, it has a pump, a water tank, and ground and aerial ladders on it. And one of the reasons why this truck was so valuable for the department was its diversity. Burnett says one of the interesting things about the project is how many local craftsmen have been helping restore that truck.
The top of this valve was lost. There were 4 of them and they were lost. they were able to craft them at the local foundry in Monette, take them down to Purdy and have them fixed. And then the other parts we've had powder coated at Super C. And then, of course, the C&B was able to do all the body work on this.
Again, if it's ready in time, you might see the truck in the Maple Leaf Parade, which begins at 9 Saturday morning. People are already reserving viewing spots along the parade route. Some were placing railroad ties or other barriers in easements where they intend to watch the parade. The police department says that's okay, that's perfectly legal. The Carthage Maple Leaf Parade is the largest parade in Southwest Missouri. Begins at 9 Saturday morning. The route begins in the historic Courthouse Square and ends at the junior high school. Still ahead is championship night at the Class 4 District 7 softball tournament in Webb City. And Thursday night high school football action in northeastern Oklahoma. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more up next.
Well, tonight is championship night at the Class 4 District 7 softball tournament in Webb City. We have a pair of Big 8 rivals meeting tonight for a spot in the state bracket. The top-seeded Nevada faces the number 2 seed McDonald County tonight for the district title. A quick start for the Mustangs. Nevaeh Dotson hitting leadoff. Grounds to short. Throw to first, though, gets by. Dotson advances to second. Then Carly Cooper drives it through the gap in right. Dotson scores to put McDonald County on the board. The same inning. J.C. Franken goes deep over the fence in center. That is a 2-run shot, and it makes it 3-0 Mustangs in the first. But very next batter, making it back-to-back jacks, it's Caitlin Townsend smashing it out of the park. 4-run lead now. McDonald County goes on to win the district championship, taking down Nevada 8-3. The Miami War Dogs are in the state softball tournament for the first time since 1996. War Dogs hit the field today in the 4A quarterfinals against the Bristow Pirates. Miami, look at this, wins a good one, 1-0. The War Dogs will play in the state semifinals at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon in Oklahoma City. The Pittsburg State Gorillas are 6-0 to begin the football season. The Gorillas are back on the road this weekend, looking to stay perfect against Lincoln. Last weekend, Pittsburg State took down rival Northwest Missouri State 24-22 in a battle of 2 of the best in the nation. The Pitt State offense got off to a hot start, putting up 21 points in the first half. The second half, though, they were held to under 30 yards and just a field goal. Now, it's partially because that Northwest defense is just really good, but also some things the Gorillas need to clean up this week and the rest of the season.
Really good players on that side, and they just started bringing more pressure, especially on third down, and we didn't handle it that great. And those are things that we'll have to get better at because, yeah, it's on film now, and other opponents are going to be watching that, and so we have to learn how to deal with that and handle that a little bit better.
The Quapaw Wildcats have been one of the best teams in Northeast Oklahoma this season. The Wildcats are 5-1 entering this week after a road win over Fairland last Friday. Quapaw hosts district rival Afton this week. The Eagles are 2-4 coming into the night. Afton gets an early play on defense. Get to the quarterback, ball is loose. Landon Ford scoops it up, takes it into the end zone. Eagles lead this thing 6-0 after 1. The second quarter, all Quapaw. Jack Derringer over the middle to Zane Stand. He cruises in for the 42-yard touchdown. Just like that, it's 6-6. Then Derringer gives this one off to Kyle Forbes. Look at this run, man. Going to the far side. Couple guys miss. He's gone 24 yards to the house. Quapaw gets the 2-point conversion after that to make it 14-6. They're not done. Just a ridiculous throw and catch here. Jack Derringer to Zane Stand. Makes the grab with a man all over him. Quapaw scores 28 in the second quarter to lead 28-6 at half. They go on to finish it off 49-21. To Miami now, the War Dogs looking to continue their hot start at home against Catoosa. The War Dogs 4-2 coming into this one. Early in the first, Russell Duggar, nowhere to go. Chris Kelly brings him down for a loss. Catoosa would go on to punt it away. So the War Dogs have the ball. Hunter Nichols takes the handoff, finds some space up the middle, and then he's all alone. Long touchdown run here for the home team. War Dogs extend the lead to 13-0.
Miami goes back out for the 2-point try. After that, Carson Jinks flips it to Nichols. He walks in for 2. That gets the lead to 15-0. Second quarter now. Just a nice night for Nichols. He gets through again, takes off for the end zone. Miami stays rolling. They get to 5-2, topping Catoosa 43-22. So I always love these Thursday night Oklahoma games when we get to week 7, week 8. Gives us one more day of high school football.
Yeah, and a big night coming up tomorrow night. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. George Leishing served in the U.S. Army. The Carterville, Missouri native was stationed in Korea. And we salute Private First Class George Leishing, a 4-state hero. Astronomers say they've uncovered a graveyard of dead stars in the Milky Way. It stretches 3 times the height of our 13-billion-year-old galaxy. They found the ancient stellar remnants when they mapped the galactic underworld for the first time. When a star more than 8 times larger than the sun collapses, the stellar core condenses into either a neutron star or a black hole. One of the study's authors says finding the oldest neutron stars and black holes has been a major task. The researchers mapped where the stellar remains rest by recreating the life cycle of the ancient stars. And I hope you guys were taking notes because there will be a quiz a little bit later.
Okay.
All
After
right.
what, about 10:45?
Yeah,
Okay.
give or take.
Sounds good.
Talk weather.
All right, windy again tomorrow, so still red flag warning in effect. This is due to the high wind gusts, low humidity, and the drought. 79, 78 on Saturday, some showers in our far southern counties.
Final sports notes.
Go check out episode 7 of the KOAM Presents Pigskin podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, talk plenty of high school and college football. Had Mike Snow from ESPN 100.7 on there. Made fun of me for wearing makeup all the time. It's funny. Go check it out wherever you
You
get
wear
your podcast.
makeup?
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
Huh. Thanks for joining us. Morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon services